The People's Choice from Mason's Edition. Over the hill, Grahamstown, Baintown, from everywhere they're coming. They're the People's Choice, the Saxon Superstars.
Hello? Who's in the morning?
Bruce!
Yeah, yo, Jordan, let's finish it.
We know you're watching. We can feel you. We know that you are afraid. Afraid of us. You're afraid of change. You're afraid of what happens when the Bahamian people find out that you've lied to them. I'm going to hang up this phone, and we are going to tell them everything. We are going to tell them who they are and what you took from them. Change is not coming. Change is here.
Fellow Bahamians, you have been lied to. You have been told that you are poor, that you have no wealth and no resources. You have been told that your natural resources are worth nothing. You've been told that even if you had natural resources that only the wealthy could afford to mine and process it. While you were struggling to survive, they were secretly shipping billions of tons of your natural resources out of the country. It's time to learn the truth. It's time to end this myth. There is a dangerous cohort called the oligarchs. They have been using your beloved politicians as puppets to do their bidding. To distract you with rallies, handouts and jobs while they ran off with your riches. So the question is, how do you get your resources out of the hands of the oligarchs and into the hands of the Bahamian people? It's easier than you think. Today, I have come as the bearer of good news. And that is that change is not coming, change is here.
You know, there's a case in court with a man named Vicefish, and Brave Davis is mixed up in that case. He's mixed up in that case, and some allegations are made against him in that case. So he went to court, and he asked the court, where's my paper? He asked the court to keep secret the allegations made against him in the case. And he asked the court to postpone the hearing of the case until Wednesday the 9th, because the election was coming up. And if this information got, let me read what he said. I was elected deputy leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition, the Progressive Liberal Party, and a highly charged political campaign season is about to commence, and there's a general election on the horizon. As I now hold a position of substantially more significance in the PLP, this gentleman's name, one of the Vicefish, will no doubt seek to put into the public domain the baseless allegations made against me in these proceedings, with the objective of forcing me to capitulate his demands or face the risk of being potentially prejudiced during the next general election campaign by the attendant publicity. My concern about that, putting the allegation against me into the public domain, is not based upon a fear of public embarrassment on my part. I have a good defense to all of these claims. Now, you wouldn't know what's in these claims. I know what's in the claims. If you know what's in the claims, you wouldn't vote for Perry Christie and Brave Davis. But you will find out what's in the claim on Wednesday, 2 days after the election, because they've sealed the records.
right after
It said dumb
being
dog.
stated as dumb dogs because you're dealing as a watchman and looking over things, but you compromise and this and that. They are called greedy dogs.
My Lord.
And the scripture speaks that they don't never get enough.
Never.
Just like the hog.
Now,
you
the
put
hog
out,
with the belly
you
burst.
put the hog in the
The
belly,
belly
they'll
burst.
eat till they
I
burst.
saw it with my own 2 eyes
These
in Long Island.
greedy
The damn
dogs
belly burst.
will take, and guess what they see?
The farmer say, Leslie, same there.
That ain't all.
Same
That
there.
ain't all.
See, they're bleeding and still eating.
Mr. Miller, that ain't all. If they would,
Lord, what is this?
if they would take the way of the hog, I would consider that really just facilitating on themselves.
Yeah.
But the greedy dogs, according to the scripture, is that when they would have their fill and nobody else get any,
Yeah.
guess what they do?
Eat some more.
No, they lay off and say, yeah, tomorrow.
You got the rest.
No good bastards. They don't want you to have none today.
Or tomorrow.
Because they took it from you yesterday. And tomorrow will come and guess what they say? We going to do this all again.
Aye.
You no good greedy dogs. You dumb dogs. You want it all. That's why I say they don't care about me. So I don't care about them. Because they will eat and have their fill. Drink the best wines. Eat the best foods and facilitate the best
My
of what
Lord.
they can get
My
of
Lord.
the land.
My
And
Lord.
when they finish and have their fill, you no good dogs, you will then say, we can do it all tomorrow. But let me tell you, see, you ain't gonna say it because you was PLP, but all your stinking, tied up clothes wearing, funny looking, talking fellas who just reached in the beloved, honorable PLP, and I ain't saying that like they, no utopia of greatness and the like. No, and like they're pure and perfect. I'm saying it because they have a legacy as the PLP for the party of the poor. I am saying it because we have a ghetto talk. If you need a little something, at least the PLP gonna help you out.
Exactly.
So I'm saying it in that manner that this crew who come, they have come as greedy dogs. And
Zak Pase! Zak Pase! Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. In on now.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome. It is always so good to have you here. Thank you all for tuning in and spending your night with me. We're going to give me 1 hour tonight. Give me 1 hour. And we're sorry about the late start. We had some technical difficulties, of course. And anytime we're having these kinds of show, we're going to get attacked. So if we have issues on one platform, remember we are on other platforms. Remember we are on other platforms. So just pay close attention to what is going on. You can go over to YouTube if you're having problems on here. But ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to have you all. Before I get started into things, I'm just going to welcome those who are on here quickly, as fast as I can, so we can get to the point. I see Veronica Ward is on here. Thank you for tuning in. It's always so good to have you. So let me know where you're tuned in from. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Good evening. Betty Ferguson is in Seabreeze. Thank you, Betty Ferguson, and welcome. Um, welcome. Watching from America. That's Kevin. Sorry, I missed that one. Yeah, Kevin E. Turncrest is watching from America. Jacqueline Williams is watching from Freeport. Evangelist Janet Bryce Gibson is watching. Thank you for your blessings. Starboy Roll says good night. Freeport. Oh my God, this is rolling now. Okay, let's get this slowed down here so I can see who is watching and where they're watching from. Oh my God, it is rolling. Anishka H. Roll is watching from Carmichael Road. Hold on, let's see if we can slow that down there. Okay. Oh my God, this is exploding, y'all. This is exploding. I can't even keep up. Okay, there we go. All right, okay. Oh my God, everyone is watching. Let me see. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Diane Smith is watching from, wow, so many people are typing, it's going so fast. Diane Smith is watching from Freeport. Tamlin Nicole Wallace Forbes is watching. Say, good evening, you're late. No, we're all late. So all of us came on late. So no problems there. See, Valentino DeVoe is watching. Queen of Ferguson is watching from Orlando. Thank you so much. Angela Monica Dames is watching from Pinewood. Who else we got here? Someone's watching from Daphne is watching from Carmichael Road. Thank you for watching, Daphne. We appreciate you. Deborah Morris Poitier is watching from Holmes Rock, Grand Bahama. Thank you. We had an amazing time in Grand Bahama. We'll get to that in a minute. Live from Nassau is Roy Ingram. Thank you, Roy Ingram, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sean Tinker is in Nassau. Good night, Sean Tinker. Who is this? Denise McCain watching from Orlando. Michael Corley is watching from Michael Road. Everett Smith is saying COI. So, well, thank you all for tuning in. It's going so fast, I can't even keep up. We got a lot of people on here, and it's really, really going fast. I see, the Barry Allens is aboard. Denzel. Dwight is watching from Freeport. Shane says, everybody wake up. Nicole. Oh, my God. This is, y'all are, this is exploding. Y'all are breaking the internet. Romano, let me see if I can see it on a device, because this is rolling so fast. All right, it's rolling so fast. I can't even keep up. All right. Well, anyway, thank all of y'all for watching. It's going fast. I see Cowpen Road watching. I see the Barry Islands is watching. Peter Lewis. Sister C is watching. I see you. She says it's too fast. James Lewis watching from Nassau. Oh my God, this is rolling. All right, the Farmland Community, Jamal Woodside, thank you so much. Alton Curtis is watching. Pearline Smith is watching. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you all. It's going too fast for me tonight. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. We're excited for this one tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to continue now. But ladies and gentlemen, our nation is in peril. We are at a serious crossroad like we've never been in the history of our nation. If we don't get change now, we are going to never get it. And I'm sorry to have to say it this way, but our politicians have sold us out, and there's nowhere left to turn other than to ourselves. And so the Bahamian people are going to have to make this happen. We are going to have to make this happen for ourselves. Help is not coming. Help is not on the way. It's a harsh reality. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a government that has sold its soul to the highest bidder. They've literally sold their soul. And so if we don't get this right, there's going to be nothing left. We have one more election to make this right, and after that, we're going to be outnumbered in our own country and outvoted. And we are ruled by corrupt, evil parties that are working together to destroy us, to keep us in bondage and to keep us down. They are working together. And I started to talk about this at our Grand Bahama town hall meeting. I'm so sorry, Grand Bahama. Some more stuff I wanted to talk about, but right before you saw my computer crashed, and I think I had a computer hack. I shouldn't have put my computer online to cause it to be accessible. But of course, we'll be back in Grand Bahama soon. We have some serious issues to talk about in Grand Bahama and some things to bring your attention to. But we want to thank everyone who showed up in Grand Bahama. Show them that you want change. We want to thank you. Grand Bahama is ready for change, and we'll be back in short order. In a month, we'll be back, and we're going to start establishing the ranks and files. And we're going to start establishing the army, preparing our weapons, and getting ready for war. We have to take Grand Bahama back. We have to save that island from the utter destruction. More on that later. I want to thank everyone who showed up on Rawson Square and showed the government that we are serious. And so some people, wanted to go back out on the 28th, but I just want to announce now we're not going back on the 28th. They will not dictate to us how we operate. We will determine our guerrilla warfare. And so we're going to go back when they they can't surprise you. They have to go and announce that they're going to table the bill. So if they go back on the 28th, they will have to announce that at the next sitting of the House of Assembly, and we're going to have to watch them, that they will table the bill on citizenship or whatever. Once they do that, then we're going to the House of Assembly, and we're going to make sure that bill is not tabled. We're going to let the government know that we are serious. They've seen that we are serious, and they've taken it seriously. All right? And so please be ready and be on call, because they may be slick and announce that the next day they're going to table the bill, hoping that we can't organize in one day. We got to be strong. We got to be ready. We don't want to waste our efforts. We will go to that House of Assembly, and we will stop them from tabling any citizenship bill that goes against our Constitution. One. All right. So I just want to thank all of you for your assistance in coming out there and showing them that we are serious. I heard, I get spies in all of their meetings, and I am told, after their meeting that they were shocked that the Bahamian people came out the way they did. They didn't even know how to respond to something like that. It was absolutely shocking to them, and we have to keep shocking them. It is imperative that we stand up for this only one nation we got. Don't mind the people calling you xenophobic and all these other nonsense. We got to defend only one nation we got. And who don't like that? Too bad. Who don't like it? This is our country. It's our country. And you all need to get that in your head. This is our country. And we're not giving this up. Not without a fight. We are going to fight. And I'm serious with that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, be ready for a fight. Be ready to stand up, because we don't have much. Before I continue, I just want to give my sincerest condolences. A member of COI who loved this organization with all her heart and all her might has passed on. And we never want any Bahamian to die. But for someone who believed in the New Bahamas, for someone who believed that we will see a New Bahamas, for an elderly Bahamian who believed in the New Bahamas, we just want to honor her today. Miss Thelma Louise Smith, age 79, has passed away. She's of Scotts Alley Johnson Road in Nassau, Bahamas. She died at the Princess Margaret Hospital on Friday, September 16th, 2022. She was predeceased by her husband, Alfred Smith, her mother, Adele Smith, her father, Alexander Roll, son, Kendall Timothy, brother. She's survived by her sons, Leslie L. Moore, Alfredo, and Jerome Smith, her daughters, Yolanda A. McKay, and Mona Lisa C. Smith. Mona Lisa C. Smith is a strong supporter of the Coalition of Independence. And we just want to say to Mona Lisa that we give you our deepest and sincerest condolences on the loss of your mother. And we are going to fight on for your mother. And we are going to ensure that you see the new Bahamas on her behalf. And she's going to be watching from heavenly places. She's going to be watching down and smiling down on us. Because she, the 79-year-old Bahamian, they said old people were caught in the old ways, but no, she believed in the new Bahamas. And this, we want to thank her for believing in us. We will not let the Bahamian people down. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. And so thank you, Bahamas, for all of that. Now, let's get down to business because we started late. I got to get straight to it and cut some of the stuff I even wanted to touch on and deal with today because we got to get straight down to business. Ladies and gentlemen, today we went back. We went into the Cowpen Road area. We went near to the detention center where we found an illicit, illegal coal mining operation. One of our team members had discovered it, and we're in search everywhere. We are searching this place out. Let me tell you something. The government can come and touch us all they want, but every time they touch us, we can touch brave people. And so these guys moved from on our side of Carmichael Road, and all is our side, but you know what I'm saying, so you could understand it. They moved from the northern side of Carmichael Road, and they went down to the southern side. They used to just live on the southern side and make coal on the northern side out of the way so it doesn't disturb or bother them. While everyone in Coral Harbor was being disturbed, waking up to smoke and smog on a daily basis. But now they have moved in and are making the coal in their villages. And if you watched my live today, you would have seen what happened. And so here is a video of the actual coal kill where they were making coal. They've caught again. And while our decrepit, evil government, our xenophobic government, xenophobic against Bahamians, our sellout government is attacking Bahamians, they are encouraging and allowing, aiding and abetting these illegal immigrants in their actions. Watch this. So please excuse any foul language that you may see in these videos, but that what you just saw was another coal kill that is on our crown land that was discovered by one of our patriots, our Bahamian patriots. They went down there. They recognized these trucks that we used to see on the northern side of Carmichael Road where we are. And that caused them to want to see what's going on. The white trucks that you used to see in the videos we used to put out. And here they are still doing their damage.
This is why y'all can't find where they doing the next set of coal. This is where.
So I went out there today with them. We inspected the area and we found it going on live. And of course, you could watch the old live, but you saw that we spoke to an elderly lady who we are told works with the previous people who does the code. She is not doing that on her own. There's a serious operation going on. We reached out. We called the police. The officer in charge, or the second in charge of Carmichael Road, Chief Superintendent Strawn, reached out to me, called me personally, and he got on it right away. And he was very helpful and very cooperative. I can say that he gave good service today. And he went out there. They saw the cold kill, and they went and they spoke to the lady. And I'm told that they took her in. They took her into questioning, and they said they called forestry. But when I went back out there, the coal was still burning. The police weren't there, and the forest people weren't there, and nothing was going on. It was quiet. So I don't know what came out of it, and I'm gonna try to get an update tomorrow. But we're gonna be all over this, and we have our sources inside of the detention center who are going to tell us exactly what went down. And so, like I said, we're going to be all over this. We're not gonna procrastinate on this. We're gonna deal with this because our country is in peril right now. Our country is in peril, and if we don't do something, we got some serious problems because we are being overrun and our government is aiding and abetting. And Bahamians have to take this seriously. Bahamians, y'all, please take this seriously. If you don't, we're going to be lost. If you don't, we're going to be in trouble. Bahamas, Bahamians, please, I need you to take this seriously. Because if you don't, that's it. There's going to be nothing for your children. And I don't know how better to say this, and I don't know any other way to say this. If you don't take this seriously, that's it. Go ask the Turks and Caicos what's happening there. Go speak to them. Turks and Caicos is in trouble, y'all. The Turks and Caicos is in serious, serious trouble. So, we're going to get to Brave in a minute, but I just wanted to put this stuff out there for you. While we were traveling, we came across something particularly interesting, and that was we found some passports. We found a passport that belongs to a Haitian national, and trying to get this to update. Internet going slow on this, but we found a passport. It didn't have a visa in it, but it had a person who landed. We had their tickets, and we saw the stamp where they landed and went straight to Abaco. They went from Cape Haitian to Nassau, went to Abaco, and we were very curious as to what was going on there. And so we were glad we got that. But I'll skip over that for now because I really want to get to talking about Brave and some of the things we saw. But we are in peril, and if we don't do something, we're in trouble. I want to call on the government to stop messing with Bahamians who are on our crown land. That's our crown land, man. If you're not going to deal with the illegal immigrants, y'all please get lost. We don't have time to entertain the nonsense of this government and their lies and their tricks and going from one lie to the next lie. They've deceived the Bahamian people enough on this, saying that we did things the wrong way, saying that we were illegal, trespassers, all this kind of stuff, and nothing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we get back to that. I'm trying to speed through this because I want to stay within a certain time today. I'm sorry for being so disjointed today. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the absolute total embarrassment of our nation by Philip Brave Davis. Philip Brave Davis went with his entourage of merry men into England with his entourage of merry men. They tried to put out pictures saying that this was a delegation, and they showed just a few people. But the picture was very deceitful because they didn't show you the entourage. This is the kind of tricks that they use on our grandparents, y'all. This is the kind of tricks that they use on our grandparents. They just showed us a picture with Brave and a couple other people. His wife was in there. And then they said, this is the Bahamian delegation. But what they didn't tell you was that there was a whole band of merry men that was supposed to stay off camera. But these fellas are so dumb that they started recording themselves and sending it out. Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse any foul language that you may hear. But this is Brave and his merry men.
We trying to record from inside the car. You want to open door?
I tell you what, you can see. All right, boy. So that kind of thing.
No photo. Just the tray open the eye. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, video, yeah. But boy come to start before I give it out. You see, look at it this far.
Try to bring his big fucking head reading my way. I can't get no good picture.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fella sitting in the car is supposed to be out of view because the Bahamian people aren't supposed to know that Brave took another entourage of merry men. And they are in the car acting like little children. And these are people being paid major salaries by the Bahamian people, and they're in the car acting like little children. We got to wake up in this country. But that wasn't the only embarrassment that we experienced. We also experienced the embarrassment from the nation's leader himself. He should know protocol. And I want you to see this. This man has embarrassed us. This is an international incident. You'll remember that when Michelle Obama touched Queen Elizabeth on the shoulder, just a brief touch, it was an international incident. It made news all over America. The news media couldn't believe that. And that was the left-wing and right-wing news media. They were like, who was the protocol officers? Who briefed them? What's going on? But here is our prime minister, so infatuated, so in love. Just look at him.
Your Majesty, Majesty.
Well, it's from yes, that's good time. You did, and that's all good. It's good. That's right. So if you might see them, I hope tomorrow night. I hope to have something, if nothing else. Don't forget. Never like, come and have a seat. I think they're magic, but yes. No, I haven't kept you waiting.
Jesus Lord. In case you missed it, let's watch it again. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Your Majesty,
He introduced him. Came on. Look at him. Look at all smiles. Look at him. Oh, Master, I love you. Look at that. Look at how he just squeezed his hand. Let me tell you something. He squeezed his hand. I mean, that is what you call love right there. That is the way Brave shook his hand with two hands. Let me tell you something. That's love. That's love right there, y'all. The way Brave grabbed this man's hand. Oh my God. Look at it. Look at it. Get a closer look. There you go. Look at that. Listen. If you are a young lady, I'm talking to all my young ladies who are starting to date and starting to get in the dating game. If you are a young lady, you want a man who, when he sees you and touches your hand, you want a man who touches your hand just like that. That's love right there. That's love. If the fella don't grab your hand like that, something missing. That right there is what you call love. This man is so in love with his master. I'm proud that Philip Brave Davis has found love. Now watch the rest of this. Okay. He pulled his hand away from him because Brave is like, he didn't want to let his hand go. So he literally had to pull his hand away from him because like, okay, that's enough. And he had to pull his hand away from him. That's embarrassing. Oh, you know I love you, and I actually swore to you. I swore to you. It was to your mother, but it was really to you. It was to her heir and successor, so it was to you also. I just want you to know, Charles, that I love you with all my heart. You are the apple of my eye, and I will cherish you until the day I die. Charles, I love you, Massa.
So I hope you like to see this tomorrow night. Nothing else. Don't forget it. Little websites. Come and have a seat.
I hope y'all didn't miss that just now. Let's do it again. Look, he's trying to lead him. Look, he's trying to lead him. Look, he is leading him to go and take the pictures, and he told him, let's go and sit down. And look how he's looking like a little child or a little buffoon. He's trying to lead him on where he needs to go. Watch this again. Watch this. Okay, smiling. Look at it. The man is leading him, and he actually told him, let's go and sit down. And Brave just stood up. Look. Someone took a turn back around for him. If you're not embarrassed, I'm embarrassed for him. Wow. That's very interesting. There's another video I wanted to show you, but I'm going to skip over that. After Brave was holding his hand so tight. Another video where Charles actually skipped over a black man as he was shaking hands. He literally skipped over him, but I'm going to skip over that tonight. But the Prime Minister embarrassed us. First, you do not touch the monarch, the king or the queen. You don't do that. All right? And if the man is leading you to sit down, come on. Act like you have sense, Brave. Come on. So I want to move on from that, right? Because I spent half of the time on those stuff. I want to move on from that, and I really want to talk to what I came here to talk about. Over this weekend, listen, the PLP trolls, I mean, they have had an amazing time. They were talking about some judgment that was out there against me. That's what they're saying, that it was against me, that I lost some judgment. The PLP trolls and the media, until the public started beating them down because they believe that this is the old Bahamas and that people are still stupid and that they will believe anything that they tell them. But people can read for themselves and they can make up their minds for themselves. And that's what these trolls failed to realize. And they started to get beat down and look like they pulled back. And I didn't see the media print anything about it today. I didn't really know. I would never buy those papers, but I'll get the papers online, but I'll never pay for them. I'll never put my money towards the lies that these papers are telling. I encourage you to not buy the Guardian. Don't buy that paper, especially. Get it online. People are passing it around online, or go on the website, see it there. All right, but don't give them your money. Don't assist them with what they are doing. I just want you to understand that one of the reasons that the media is holding me down, they don't want the truth out there. They don't want the truth to be told. And the oligarchs own these media houses. Brave have bought many of them out. And the other ones, he's just canceled them out. But the Guardian fell out with me when we had the incident with Cameron Simonet. I was speaking out against what Cameron Simonet was doing by trying to bamboozle the Bahamian people by saying that they were going to let them buy shares in the company. But the company they were buying shares in wasn't going to own nothing. The company Cameron Simonet them owned was going to own everything. And they were going to have this other company that was going to own nothing. And we exposed that on Guardian, on Michelle Markham show. And that really foiled their plans because they were trying another trick on the Bahamian people. And it's always been my thing that we have to keep our people wise and educated. Now, Manny Alexio is the uncle. He's one of the owners of Guardian, etc. And he is the uncle of Cameron Simonet. See, you never know the connections between these people. And he had sent out a text to someone, and that the person shared a text with me about what he had said about me, etc. But they were going after me ever since. But basically because they couldn't continue their evil domination. And so their plans have been blocked. Not just thanks to me, but thanks to those persons in Andros for standing up. The people. I heard someone give the PLP credit for that. The PLP gets no credit for that. The people stood up in North Andros. They stood up and stopped these oligarchs from doing what they want to do. And so they didn't want the truth out there. And so that's really, what the deal is there. So I'm always going to get attacked on the Guardian and our news, etc. And you can see the lying stories that they would put out. And so that's a part of it. And I accept that. I'm a public figure. I'm not going to cry and moon. I'm not going to be like, Wayne Monroe and these other politicians and Brave Davis them and threaten people, when they speak their minds or speak their opinions. Listen, man, I have thick skin. And I know my feet are made of clay, just like everybody else. And so if people want to talk, about me, whatever they want to say, then so be it. And so that's what it is. But they had a ball until people started to beat them down. They realized, hold on, this isn't working. This whole systematic plan that we set up, it isn't working. And so basically what it is that someone decided to sue me. Someone said they made an investment. They sued me and the company, because if it was just me, they would have just sued me. But they sued me and the company. They said they made an investment. The company burned down shortly after they said they made an investment. And then they tried to go after me personally, which is what people normally do. That's what lawyers normally tell you. Let's find a way to go after him personally, because he's the one with the money. The company is gone. Let's try to get him. And so they went after me personally, and she found a way to go after me personally. So be it. So we had a disagreement over what this investment was, and so it went to court. No one accused me of stealing anything. No one accused me of stealing anything, whether it's shares or money or anything. This was a dispute that was in the courts. What's really interesting about this whole thing is the way they tried to paint it as some kind of criminal matter. as if this was a criminal case and Lincoln is going to jail, and it was kind of annoying, but it was shocking that the papers would, I mean, put their whole reputation on the line by what they did. They what they did made absolutely no sense, and I was shocked that they would actually do that. And this is why the people are starting to not trust the media. And I call on you to read the media carefully and not trust what they say. They're trying to push a narrative to you. All right. And so, in all my years of doing business, I will say, no one can say that I owe BZ. They can't say I tried to rip off customs or didn't pay customs, and I've been in retail business. They can't say not one incident with customs. They can't say I owe any staff members. They can't say I owe NIB. Anything that you would normally see with business persons, they can just see a good track record. I've had businesses that were attacked by politicians or people, powerful people, because I was fighting for the people, and that business was one of them. I believe that business was attacked. All right. I believe that business was attacked for whatever reason, but I keep bouncing back, and that keeps annoying them. They don't know how I keep doing it. All right. But it's only the Lord. All right. Who God bless. No man can curse. But in all of my years of doing business, they can't say that they caught me in any wrongdoing or anything like that. They just keep trying to imply things and say things. Oh, he has a pass. They won't give you the details of his pass, but that's what they do. And so, I continue to do what I have to do. My talent, my gift is fighting for the Bahamian people. And me being in business helps me to be able to do that and sustain myself while I'm doing it. And so that's really what it is. So someone soon will be at a disagreement. And the truth is, and I'm going to share my screen for you, and I'm going to get to the Brave in a minute. But I'm going to share my screen and show you something. All right. They tried to make it seem, even The Guardian, Manny Alexio's paper, tried to spread and say that, I avoided jail time. And they tried to make it, the way they worded it was like it was a criminal matter, which is not. It's a civil matter. So it's like similar, not the same, but Friendship Plus takes you to court. It's a civil matter. So this is the matter here, and this is the judgment. I just tried to make it big for you so you can see it. This is the judgment. Held means judgment. This is what is held. All right. So the judgment is right here, and they could have seen this, but they didn't print this. They just wanted to say something. All right. So it says the appeal against the judgment of the 6th December 2021 is dismissed. All right. And so there was two parts to this. The appeal against the order made in the addendum is allowed and is set aside in its entirety. And so this is basically saying that I won one and I lost one. And so now for me, it's natural progression to the Privy Council. All right. And so it's simple as that. Basically, all they were saying was that the previous judge in that case didn't believe what we had to say. And we feel otherwise. And so we're going to deal with it accordingly. That's simple as that. And so at the end of the day, this is a simple matter. At the end of the day, if the council says pay her, then she gets paid. I mean, that's very simple. I think that you don't need a degree for that. As he said, they say pay her, and she gets paid. If they say pay us, then we get paid. It's simple as that. But we have seen the Privy Council overturn judgments. So this won't be the last time. And so the honorable judges did the best they can with this, and now we're going to take it to where it needs to go. As simple as that. I'm not complaining, but I just wanted, because everyone is in the news talking about it, I just wanted to address that. Now, they are making it seem like any of their members of parliament have not been involved in civil cases, and some of them criminal cases. They are trying to make it seem that their members of parliament are untouchable and without flaws, and they are perfect. So since that is the case, we're going to give them a shot over the bow tonight. Just a shot over the bow. All right? And then, if that's not enough for them, then we're going to line up a series of informationals about the different members of parliament. There have been members of parliament who've been accused of molesting little boys. There have been more than one. There have been members of parliament who have been accused of actually stealing and all sorts of other things. There are members of parliament who got loans from our Bank of Bahamas, our money, and never paid it back. Like they can literally seriously take our public money from Bank of the Bahamas and not pay it back. And that's okay. They've been taken to court for that. They've had members of parliament who had do two judgments against them. Okay? And so we're going to give them a shot over the bow. And that shot over the bow is we're going to start with the head. Someone says one was charged with rape. Yes, that is correct. All right? And so these evil people are trying to put stuff out there on me to distract you. But I think what they're doing is showing you that, wow, it ain't as bad as they're saying, because they would have had some real stuff. They're trying to take something and turn it into something else, which means that maybe there's nothing. But in the case of Philip Brave Davis, there are some things. First of all, I'd like to know what happened with 90s money. I would love to know what happened with 90s money, since we want to have those kinds of conversations. I know, but we'll get to that another time. All right? I would like to know what happened. All right? There's so much we could touch on, but I'll get straight to the point and leave touching on other stuff. All right? Someone says, don't forget Obi. Yep, don't forget Obi. All right? Now, Philip Brave Davis, you. There was a case that Hubert Ingham just spoke to you about, and I'm going to play it for you again to start to line this up, and I'm going to read. This is bad time. We might go a little bit over 10, but y'all stick with me. All right? Y'all stick with me. We might go a little bit over 10. But I'm going to play you the words of Hubert Ingham again. Remember, you're talking about his former law partner, so you know how that man go. And every time the PLP touches us moving forward, they actually put something out there on Maria saying she had a baby. She had a baby with a married man. They actually put something out there on her like that. I mean, the petty things that they're coming with is nonsensical. That's all you got on Maria? Wow, Maria, I am proud of you. You are a good person. And it's an honor. That the only thing they could have on you is that you had babies. I've had babies too. All right? I don't get it. All right, let's take our time and go through some documents. First, we're going to start with Brave's papa, the man who's advising him right now. Brave, this is your papa.
You know, there's a case in court with a man named Vicefish. And Brave Davis is mixed up in that case. He's mixed up in that case, and some allegations are made against him in that case. So he went to court, and he asked the court, where's my paper? He asked the court to keep secret the allegations made against him in the case. And he asked the court to postpone the hearing of the case until Wednesday the 9th, because the election was coming up, and if this information got... Let me read what he said. I was elected deputy leader of Her Majesty's loyal opposition, the Progressive Liberal Party. And a highly charged political campaign season is about to commence. And there's a general election on the horizon. As I now hold a position of substantially more significance in the PLP, this gentleman's name, one of the vice fish, will no doubt seek to put into the public domain the baseless allegations made against me in these proceedings, with the objective of forcing me to capitulate his demands or face the risk of being potentially prejudiced during the next general election campaign by the attendant publicity. My concern about that, putting the allegation against me into the public domain, is not based upon a fear of public embarrassment on my part. I have a good defense to all of these claims. Now, you wouldn't know what's in these claims. I know what's in the claims. If you know what's in the claims, you wouldn't vote for Perry Christie and Brave Davis. But you will find out what's in the claim on Wednesday, 2 days after the election, because they've sealed the records.
So that's Brave's business partner and Papa, who talked about these Wisefish brothers. And of course, Brave asked the court to seal the records. We have the records. And Brave always does that. He likes to keep his stuff in secret. Remember, during the election campaign, he wrote to Facebook and told Facebook people are talking about him, and he don't want them talking about him, like literally. You know, he went to visit a mentor of mine who was not well in the States. And he told that mentor, man, tell Lincoln to stop talking about me, man. Tell him take it easy on me. So my mentor called me and I said, no, you're going to speak truth to power. But we got, I like how Jamon Darling said, we got the records. We got the records. And not only do we have the records, but we have the documents. We have the documents that's going to show you exactly who Brave Davis is. And if the PLP continues to attack Maria Daxon and the COI with these unsubstantiated gossip, we are going to have to deal with them. Shot over the bow. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's story time. All right, and I'm going to share my screen now, so you won't see much of me at this point. I'm going to share my screen so you can see documents. Somebody say documents. Documents. That's what we want to see. Documents. All right. But we're going to read from the media first because, you know, some of you, you've forgotten, a lot of what's been going down over the years, and we forget pretty quickly. But what we're going to do is now we're going to remind you. We're going to bring to your remembrance some things. And these things is important. It's important for us to bring these to your remembrance because we don't want you to ever forget who you're dealing with. And so Fred Mitchell has organized this weekend his trolls to go after me and to attack me. But we stand strong. All right, so let's read some of these stuff. So I just wanted to line it up for you. Just wanted to get these stories out there. Hold on. All right, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, the truth about Philip Brave Davis. I'm going to share my screen now, and you're going to see what Hubert Alexander Ingram was warning you about. All right, and so just waiting for it to pull up for you. There we go. So, just so the PLP knows, not only do we have files on every single member of parliament they have, not just to show that they've done wrong, because we've never gone after people personally. I've always known everything about them personally, but I've never talked about their personal lives, and you can attest to that. I don't ever talk about their personal lives, ever. That is not what I do. I deal with their public record. But since they want to attack Maria about who she had sex with and attack me, etc., we're going to give them a shot over the bow to let them see how far-reaching we are. All right? And so we found accounts and files from even overseas. Stay tuned. We'll get there. We have files on all of their trolls, including one who is seems to be their voice, who is a homosexual former drug dealer who used to steal drugs from drug dealers in Florida and got run out of town. And they have this. It seems like they like to, connect and use unscrupulous characters in the Progressive Liberal Party. That seems to be their style. And then um, we have files on another one who was a part of their staff and a senior member of their staff who was accused of molesting a boy from the Thompson family, well-known civil servant family, well-known family of lawyers. He had molested a boy, and that person would know exactly who I'm talking about. A heavy-set fella who loves to travel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the files. All right. So I would advise the PLP to focus on the issues, or let's go down the other road. It's their choice. We have the files to ask Frederick A. Mitchell about what used to happen at Base Road. Is it Base Road? Back Road. Back Road. On Robinson Road, it was a video store. It was a video. They used to sell video cassettes. We can ask Frederick A. Mitchell, what used to happen at Back Road? Frederick Mitchell. Do you want to tell the BAME people what used to happen at Back Road? Well, we can deal with the issues of the people, or we can start to have these conversations. It's simple as that. So here we go. So we'll await their response. But let's look at this as story time, y'all. It's story time. I just want y'all to see this stuff. It's story time. So I hope you're all ready for this. All right. So here we go. It says Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, who made his mark performing legal work for drug kingpins, could be headed to Fox Hill Prison if a billionaire metal trader gets his way. A Bahamas Supreme Court justice has allowed for application by a billionaire metal trader for the committal to prison of Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis for alleged contempt of court. This is the latest chapter in a bizarre decade-long lawsuit between two billionaire Israeli brothers over money made when they operated a metals trading business together. In 2006, in England, Rami Weissfish was accused by his younger brother, Amir Weissfish, of refusing to account for his partnership profits. The brothers spelled their names differently. Rami Weissfish dropped an S from the family Weissfish name in spelling his own name. Their firm, the Metals Resource Group, was a dominant force in the global cobalt market, London, in the late 90s. The company closed in 2002. The firm was registered in the Bahamas, where litigation has continued. The case has made a mockery of the courts and has highlighted the dysfunctionality of the Bahamian legal system. The latest order, dated Friday, July 24th, was made by Justice Rhonda Bain, the fifth Bahamian judge to be involved in the case. They keep getting judges removed from the case. Three prior judges have recused themselves at the request of Rami's legal team. Justice Anita Allen, John Isaacs, and John Lyons, who started the case, have all stepped down in the past. The most recent jurist, Justice Stephen Isaacs, refused Rami's request to recuse himself. Rami had alleged that Justice Isaacs had shown bias towards his younger brother, which the judge denied. However, Justice Isaacs later, of his own volition, removed himself from the case. Justice Bain's order refers to the plaintiff, Amir Weissfish, among others, and the defendants, Philip Edward Davis, and others. Notice it says Philip Edward Davis and others. So the PLP, when this was brought up before, I started to say, oh, he was just a lawyer, and so the lawyer just got caught up in it. No, it wasn't. And we'll explain that to you in a minute. All right, if you look at this court case properly, if you look at this, he's the first defendant here. Philip Edward Davis. He's the first named person. So, all right, so we've established that. All right, so let's continue. It says the plaintiff have permission to make an application to this court for an order for the committal to prison of the defendant, Mr. Philip Edward Davis, for his alleged contempt of his court by breach of his undertaking given to the court on the 28th day, 2009. In 2010, an action was filed in the Supreme Court against Mr. Davis, a lawyer, by a Liechtenstein Foundation accusing him of wrongly claiming ownership of shares in the Metals Holding Corporation, thereby interfering with the investment, aka TIFIN, I'll explain that in a minute, with the investment of the company's assets. Mr. Davis was being sued in his capacity as trustee of the APW, that's the Mayor Perez Weiss Trust, and as director of Metals Holding Company. Wayne Monroe, see another name popped up, the sole director of SFP Metals UK Limited, a private limited company incorporated in England, in his director's report on the company's 2009 account said that Mr. Davis was the trustee of APW Trust, which owns the entire issued share capital of SFP Metals. They use these bunch of companies to confuse people and hide this and that. All right, so Wayne Monroe is tangled up in this, and Brave Davis. Okay, the web is starting to weave. All right, so Brave Davis was accused, was claiming he owned shares. So let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened quickly. All right, then we'll get right back to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happened here was that, when you form companies in the Bahamas, you'll just take two girls who work in the office and you'll probably, the secretary, and you'll put stuff in their name, that kind of stuff. And you would basically say, all right, these are subscribers, they form the company. And then later, if there's an opportunity, then you take it. And so we believe that what happened is that Wisefish was about to die. He had to get surgery, serious surgery, and he was dying. And he had to get heart surgery, and they believed that he wasn't going to make it. And all of a sudden, we believe that Brave used that opportunity to take the shares in the company. Now, what does that mean? A company will have a bank account. Whoever has the shares, who owns the shares in the company, owns the money in the bank account. So if you take the you don't have to take the money, you just take the shares and you got the money. So that's interfering with the assets. In other words, in our opinion of this public figure, all right, he was attempting to steal the assets of the company by claiming that he had ownership of shares. And so that's what the problem is, all right? And so that's where the problem came in. So I'm going to continue just so you understand, all right? That's the backstory, and that's so you get a proper understanding of what's really going on here. So let me share the screen again so y'all can see it. It's story time now. It's story time. We're going to have a lot of these in the future since they want to bring out these gossiping trolls. Going to bring out these gossiping trolls who have no information, no background, but they just want to put things on a voice note and hope that people just believe what they say because it's on a voice note. And I cry shame on people who just take those voice notes and share them. That is ridiculous. That's definitely the old Bahamas. All right. And so here, I'll skip from Wisefish for a minute, and I'm going to show you one of the reasons. I'll come back. I'm going to show you one of the reasons that Brave Davis was so angry and wanted to jail, what's his name? Adrian. Davis admits secretary had shares in disputed company. So a lot of stuff is, going on with these. No, I'm putting in his name this time. You can put it in the secretary name and all kind of switcheroos going on. An admission of his law firm secretary holding shares in disputed Nassau Island Development Company came from the leader of opposition yesterday. The coming clean of Philip Davis, also the leader of the Progressive Party, All follows a damaging auditor's report. So the auditor had a report that really spanked Brave Davis. And we keep seeing over time, F&M calling the PLP corrupt, the PLP calling the F&M corrupt, and exposing each other and spanking each other. And at some point, we got to realize that the two of them is garbage. Let me continue. All right. So, damaging auditor report of the Water and Sewage Corporation, which was tabled in Parliament by Water and Sewage Chairman Adrian Gibson last evening. So, Adrian had tabled something about Brave Davis and what really went down. And it wasn't that Adrian was the one who did this, you know. The Auditor General, the Auditor of the Bahamas, who is supposed to be neutral, brought out what they saw. And it was a report by Ernest and Young, the law firm. Not the law firm, sorry, the accounting firm. A report by Ernest and Young, all right? The report by Ernest and Young highlighted what it called numerous irregularities in the corporation's management and finances. This brave. Huh? Y'all tag the trolls. This brave. Ernest and Young says all kind of foolishness was going down in terms of its management and finances while Brave is in charge. It says one of the irregularities mentioned in the Auditor General's report was the awarding of a contract worth $9.6 million. Let's round that. $10 million to NID for the construction of the Gladstone Road wastewater treatment plant. The report further pointed out that the project actually cost taxpayers close to $20 million. During a press conference at the House of Assembly yesterday, Mr. Davis said there was nothing unusual about his secretary, Merlin Poitier, holding shares in NID. Now remember, he was the Minister of Works in charge of this. Shares in NID, and said she is in fact a family friend. He also insisted that due process was followed. In addition to making the connection between Poitier and NID, the auditor report went as far as to pull from the obituary of Davis's mother to draw attention to the fact that Poitier is also a Davis family friend. Ernest and Young said this, if this was to happen in a civilized, real country, because Bahamas ain't a real place, heads was going to roll. All right. So the opposition leader questioned the cause of audit as the chairman of Water and Sewage has not released the figures and insists the numbers will come in due time. So his response to that was, hey, how much does this audit cost? How much is this audit costing the Bahamian people? This audit that made me look bad. That was his response. All right. And he also questioned the timing of it. And his response was, I mean, a bunch of ridiculous responses. Davis further questioned the intention and timing of the table audit and said the questions may have been specific, could have easily been clarified. He said he could have clarified that stuff. All right. And so we go further down. Meanwhile, the Free National Movement, Carl Kummer, issued a statement late yesterday in which he said his recent audit has revealed more of the truth, leaving many serious questions to be answered by Davis. Kummer said that the PLP held power. Davis was intimately involved with the mismanagement, malfeasance, that's another word for thieving, and corruption at the Water and Sewage. Now you see why he went back after Adrian and spanked him. While he served as Minister of Works, right? So he was in charge. Nothing he said happened without his heavy-handed pulling of the levers. All right? When light is positioned on his actions, we see him trying to scurry into the darkness like rats, trying to hide. So Carl Kummer called Brave Davis a rat. Through the forum, when the latest revelation came to light, the old and tired Brave Davis tried to publicly discredit the auditing firm. Our people were subject to 5 years of the PLP corrupt rule. where the government focus on helping themselves at the people's expense. Does this sound like the same thing the PLP is now saying now about the FNL? I don't know when you all are going to get tired of this back and forth and back and forth. Further comment said that the PLP leader must finally come clean and give the public a full accounting of each of the contracts handed out during his time as Minister of Works that benefited himself, his family, or his close friends. He also accused Davis of being a key mastermind of illicit, that means illegal, activities. The old and tired Brave Davis can call it a witch hunt and try to run and hide from responsibility, but the rest of the country calls for accountability. Every person in this country has a right to know how and why contracts that wasted taxpayers' money and provided no results in the end were given out and to whom they were given. Isn't this the same back and forth, back and forward? Anybody else tired of this man? It can't only be me. Anybody else tired of the same back and forward, back and forward? PLP accusing FNM, FNM accusing PLP, and in the end, all of them are one in the same. I ain't know about y'all, but I tired. I can't take much more of this. I don't know about y'all. So, I'm going to read some more. It's time to get back to Weissfish. I just wanted to show you that, that the FNM was accusing Brave Davis of malfeasance and thieving, and Brave Davis went after Adrian, but back to the Weissfish brothers, all right? And so the Weissfish brothers, I mean, the court said, that Brave Davis could be committed to jail. So whereas the R News was talking a bunch of nonsense, this was an actual case. All right, this was an actual case where Brave Davis found himself in trouble. All right, and he actually could have gone. To jail. I want to show you a couple more things. And so the Weissfish brothers put out an article in the Tribune. And so Davis and his friend Wayne Monroe responded by saying, "We can sue y'all." And they even sent a letter in advance to the Punch before Monday to tell the Punch, "You better don't print nothing about this." Because that's brave them. They like to keep, they like mafia. They like to keep things hidden and secret, etc. about them, and then attack other people. See, this is May 7, 2012. It's the Progressive Party. I think this is from the Tribune. Yeah, this is from Tribune. Sorry, this is from the Guardian, that the paper none of y'all should buy. All right, so it says the Progressive Party Deputy Leader Philip Davis and Israeli metal trader Rami Weissfish have threatened to file a libel suit against the Tribune paper. Graham Thompson and co. acting for Davis and Wayne Monroe acting for Weissfish made the threat over a letter purportedly written by Rami's estranged brother Amir Weissfish, which was published in the papers on May 4th. The lawyers have demanded a retraction of the allegations by both men contained in the letter and have sought damages. The parties have threatened civil action in the Supreme Court if the matter does not resolve to their satisfaction. Additionally, Monroe has forewarned the Punch publisher Ivan Johnson about publishing what he says are defamatory articles about the Democratic National Alliance. Look at how the DNA is now tied up with the PLP. All of the candidates of the Democratic National Alliance and Ezra Russell of Cat Island. Wow. Y'all see this weave? And Ezra Russell. Interesting. In the letter to Johnson, Monroe wrote, "As you will no doubt be aware, there is a responsibility to journalists, blah, 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 blah." All right? So I won't go into all that nonsense. But this is them now writing because the Weissfish brothers put something out there and they weren't having it. All right? And so This is the Tribune, and this is where they were denying statement. Lawyers for Philip Brave Davis have denied statements made in a letter written by Amir Weisfish, claiming that he and his elder brother would get an extremely. This was the allegation here, that an offer was made that he and his brother would get an attractive deal and price with a land development project which he had in mind, provided they donated to his 2002 election campaign and the PLP won the government. You see how politics works? So, Amir Weisfish says that this is what Brave did. They're saying that they was offered this, that he and his brother would get an extremely attractive deal and price with a land development project which he had in mind, provided they donated to his 2012 election campaign and the PLP won the government, which they did. All right. So when me and Monroe say that isn't true because they ain't in writing. The letter complained of, written by Amir Weisfish under the heading "Brave is linked to Salsa Beach," was published in the Tribune on May 4th. This allegation is false, scandalous, and spurious. Our client is inclined in his office as attorney at law, a member of parliament, and as a deputy leader of a magistrate wrote Mr. Robert Adams, head of litigation department at Graham Townsville. This letter was hand-delivered to Tribune after 10 p.m. on Saturday by a partner of the firm. According to Mayor Weisfish in his letter, over the course of the next few weeks, in 2002, companies for which Philip Davis was a trustee and director donated approximately $200,000 to the PLP, including the value of buying and shipping 22,000 polo shirts to be distributed to their supporters. The Weisfish money was supporting the PLP. Oh, remember I said this? Here it is. Mr. Weisfish claimed that after the and so these are companies to which Brave was made a director. This gets deeper, so just hang on. You can see some more. All right. Mr. Weisfish claimed that after the PLP's 2002 election victory, Rami, his elder brother, had several meetings with Philip Davis to discuss various potential projects in the Bahamas. The property in question consisted of more than 6,000 acres in Winding Bay, Half Sound, and Hatchet Bay area of Eleuthera. Isn't it amazing how they could so easily give so much of our land to the foreigners? Just that's 6,000 acres. The Bahamas, wrote Mr. Monroe, has been Rami Weisfish's home for many years. While he has assisted his friends in political campaigns, he has never done so in return for a favor, but only out of friendship. Yeah, right. My client has given contributions to his friends who are members of the FNM and the PLP and the DNA. Oh wow, look at this. They're giving to all. You see? He does not give contributions to political parties. What? Oh boy, politicians playing with words. The assertion that any contribution my client gave was given in return for political favor is defamatory, as it is designed to and would tend to lower him in the estimation of reasonable thinking persons, etc., etc., etc. So said the wild letter suggests political favors in exchange for whatever. Yeah. So here you have it. Salsa Beach is the Braves links to Salsa Beach. Let me pull that up for you. I was going to pull that up for you, but I want you to get a kind of full story, and then I can show you. Remember, money was going. Brave was a trustee in these companies. He was a trustee, and then money was paid from these companies to benefit the PLP. All right. Oh man, I can't get it from there. Oh yeah, I can get it from there. Let me get that. Let me do that. I just want you to see this. Let me put that in there for you. I rather search the Tribune and search that other paper. Let's see if we get it. Braves links to Salsa Beach. All right. Oh, this is editorial. I don't want to read this one. All right. So there's an article. I'll put it up another day. All right. Oh man, this is really interesting. But this goes deep. Go and search this and read this, and you'll see over the course of weeks, Davis, all the money that was pumped in, the 6,000 acres that was being offered. From an initial offer made in July 2003, negotiations were held with the government of the Bahamas representing the Hotel Corporation, and a good faith deposit of $500,000 was paid by Salsa Beach to a hotel corporation to be held in escrow. Despite prolonged negotiations, heads of agreements had not been concluded by the time of the dispute arose between me and my brother in 2004, as a result of which the deal collapsed. It would appear that despite being a member of the government at the same time as being director and legal advisor to Salsa Beach Limited, Brave Davis did not consider his position to be conflicted. Hope you saw it. It is my understanding that Rami continues to be a significant financial supporter of Philip Brave Davis' political ambitions. Wow. So the money from their company going to the PLP. All right. So let's continue. So that's very interesting. So money starts floating from one place to the next, and this is an interesting part. So you see Wayne Monroe's name pops up. Brave Davis' names pop up. But look at this. Deputy PM's wife sues company where he serves as director. So Philip Brave Davis' wife was working at these companies. So remember, money was flowing from these companies. And he had his wife. Well, what was she doing there? The wife of Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, Anne Marie, is suing a company in which he serves as director before the 2012 general election. Mrs. Davis, who serves as financial controller under Mr. Davis' directorship, is claiming the sum of all this money in damages, costs, interest, and further relief for wrongful dismissal from a group of companies, First Fund Services, and the rest of these companies. This group of companies are used interchangeably by APV Trust for administrative purposes. APV Trust is a company set up to manage the trust of embattled millionaire Weisfish brothers. Amir Weisfish, who ran Metals Resources Group with his elder brother Rami Weisfish, are embroiled in protracted legal battles. According to court documents, Mrs. Davis earned $65,000 a year. And I'll explain to you all how these politicians and reverends, etc., make money with these foreigners, helping them do stuff in the Bahamas. Until she left employment at MRG Bahamas on or about May or June 2004. Subsequent to this, she made new arrangements with the same company, services to be paid on a part-time hourly basis. Mrs. Davis makes a claim that somewhere around May 2004, a dispute arose in the offices. They was having a big fight in the office she worked in and was told to go home from the office. All right? Because the office the environment was becoming unpleasant. She continued to receive her monthly salary until December 2004. On July 4, 2005, Ms. Davis made inquiries on status of her employment with the company, as well as requesting that her salary be brought up to date. She wanted money. The letter was addressed to Mr. Davis. So she wrote a letter to her husband. Miss, who fired you? No, you wasn't fired. Who sent you home? Who told you to go home because it was getting hot in there? Who was having a big row in there? Was it Mr. Davis and someone else? Because you wrote a letter to Mr. Davis. Now, she was acting, as you can see, Ms. Davis served as a financial controller of this company. And as you can see, all kind of stuff was going on that ended up in a lawsuit. All kind of shifty stuff was happening. And so she was working at a company, and when she wrote the letter to get her money, they arranged to give her some money from the other company. All right. But Davis was he was the director of these companies. And so this lawsuit was over some big money. Bang. It's the year end 2012. 100 grand here. Sorry, 100 million here. 100 million here. So there's some big money. There's some big money going on. All right. So these are some financials, some big money financials. That's happening here. So if you look at 2012, look at that. That's big, some big money. All right. But when we start to go forward to 2013, zero. I don't know what's happening here. You go up to 2013, see, these are the financial statements. And again, I'm not a financial expert. I could be very wrong about what I'm looking at, but I just tell you what I see. So don't take anything I say. You look at this for yourself. All right? Go and look at it. So you look at these, it's down to zero now. And Mr. Wayne Monroe is the director. Mr. Wayne Monroe is the director. And let's see if they have his full name there. Mr. Wayne Monroe is the director. Yeah, so W. Monroe. Anyway. And it went down to zero. And then what we see, we just tell you what we see, some curious stuff. Then there's a termination. It says termination of a director appointment. Termination details. 2014, Wayne Monroe, gone. So there's all this confusion and all this kind of stuff going on. Wayne there, Brave there. All this stuff happening. And I can't say Wayne did any wrongdoing. I can't say Brave did any wrongdoing. I'll leave it at that. But just look and see what you see for yourself. All right? And, of course, not only was Wayne working there, but also working there is Orville, Alton, Tommy, Turnquest. Do you see how these people work together in these things? You see how they work together in the evil that they do? Why is Tommy Turnquest working with Brave, Wayne Monroe, etc. in this company? Huh? And why is Tommy Turnquest signing on to these stuff? All kind of shady, transactions is going on. We have a bunch of other companies that we're going to show you. We did we went all out on this. We know all their bank accounts. I could start listing you off all their bank accounts, and we know some stuff that we're going to start putting up. But we could wait for them to respond and mess with us first. We wanted you all to see this with your own eyes. So, Wayne, explain what this means to us. Because, y'all always talk down to people. And so maybe y'all could explain why in 2014 there was a termination. And then all of a sudden we see all this stuff going on. And then, so I just want to explain this to y'all. These people, they want to move stuff around. They want to hide stuff from wherever they are sometimes. There's different instances. And they form companies here in the Bahamas in order to accomplish that. And what they do is they have directors, and these lawyers will represent them, and they'll get paid. Their family, they give their family and friends jobs as directors, and they mostly hire uh, pastors as directors because they are trusted. So a lot of these pastors you see driving around here in their Mercedes and stuff and whatever, some of them have directorships on these boards from sometimes shady people and shady companies from around the world, Panama Papers type of people and Bahama Papers type of people. And they would have directorships, and they keep that secret. They don't tell you about that, but they get an income from that. They get a very good income from that, just being a director of these companies, so that the monies can stay here because it's an actual company here, not just an offshore company. And so that's really a lot of what happens, and that's how they operate. And here, Brave Davis tried to steal the shares of the company, and so it started to go down. All right. And so eventually, Brave Davis became prime minister. Deputy prime minister. And once he became deputy prime minister, you saw where they alleged he was trying to make some deal with them for land, and I'll give you land and I'll do this and that. Once he became prime minister, they settled. You see, they was fighting over $100 million that Brave had access to. All right. That's what they were doing. So this was extremely interesting. You'll see here where there was a major settlement thing going on here. All right, so Brave settled. Now, once Brave, so the money from the company was being used to fund the PLP. Remember back in the day, anytime you went to the PLP for money, they would send you to Brave. They'll say, yeah, go to Brave, go to Brave. Brave had this access to this money. And so Brave was using this Wise Fresh brothers' money, apparently, to do things for people. And so they would say, oh, Brave is nice, Brave is nice. It wasn't nice. It's easy to be nice with someone else's money, especially when you thought America was going to die. It was easy to be nice with someone else's money. And so it wasn't that he was nice. He was taking, apparently, from the Wisefish situation and assisting the PLP and PLPs. All right? And so once he became deputy prime minister, when you sit in front of the Wisefish brothers now, you say, listen, I'm the prime minister. It's nothing you could do. If you don't want your money, I'm not saying this is what he do, but this is what he could do. If you don't want to get your money, then mess with me. We control the central bank. We control the attorney general. You will get nothing. You all better settle. Settle with me, and then this will be over. Because the mayor was considering that Brave and Rami was working together, although it was really Brave he was going after. And so this is what happened. And so this was $100 million heist. And this apparent criminal activity is what funded the Progressive Liberal Party. And so when they come around and say, oh, yeah, they got the money, boss got the money, this is what it was. And so this was a situation where he was actually accused of malfeasance, not only at Waterworks, but with the Wisefish brothers' money. He made them settle because now they were afraid. They felt like, oh, this is a banana republic, backwater country. This dude is not a deputy prime minister. What are we going to do? Ain't nothing we could do. Might as well just settle. That's what went down. So Brave not only was dealing with these companies, dealing with the money, et cetera, excuse me, he had his wife all up in it. And so that's why Ingram says, if you know what he knows, you wouldn't vote for Brave. And so when the PLP responds, we got more on this. That was just a shot over the bow. Maria said, don't give them everything. It's a shot over the bow. All right? $100 million. $100 million. And so just like the way Brent Simonet was was, controlling the money in the party, so they made him DPM. The same way Brave was controlling the money that they got from the Whitefish, and he became DPM. So, if any trolls could explain this, hopefully I didn't misspeak about anything, but if any trolls could explain this, then let's go. And so now Brave and his lovely wife are traveling on our dime, traveling around the world on our dime, traveling around with all of these shady fellas on our dime, but they're attacking me. I just showed you documentation. We got a lot more documentation to show you. But we would prefer to focus on bettering this country. No trolls? No trolls? I don't see any trolls tonight. Y'all saw the murder of a senior PLP because of the same kind of similar situation. This is the culture of the PLP, and they're attacking me. Now, I could go, someone says they were here and they left. Oh, I guess documents run them. I could go deeper. Don't come for me, because you know I got more. And a mayor's family wants to educate us about more. I'll leave it right there. All right? So, the Whitefish brothers is one thing. When you all come, we can put a list together, and every day we'll have a lineup. Chester Cooper. Yes, I got documents about Chester Cooper. Fred Mitchell. Yes, I have documents about Fred Mitchell. Glenn Martin. Yes, I have documents about Glenn Martin. Oh, Lord. I don't want to tell you all everyone. What do I want to be in town name? Wade. What do I want to Seabreeze name? Leslie. Dr. Darvel. I'll leave that there for now. All we got is files. And so when they come again, we're not going to drop gossip. We can drop files. Okay? We're going to ask Fred to explain the conversation that Jeb Bush had about him when Jeb Bush came here. Remember Condoleezza Rice came first? She left, and then Jeb Bush came and said, you all will give me 90. Remember that? And remember you all went in the dark of the night, let the helicopter land in the prison, and just swooped 90 out? What did Jeb Bush say that caused y'all to give up 90 even while his court case in the Bahamas was still going on? What did he say about Fred Mitchell? Did he say something? What did he say, Fred? So when y'all want to come again, we gonna unleash the dragon on y'all. All right? Because we got so much things to say right now. So much things to say. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we just want them to know that we're not playing with them and we're not our grandfather's generation. This is a new generation and we just clap back. We ain't that old generation. See, this generation, when the stepdaddy come home drunk and he pushing your mother around, no, this is generation that can talk back to him. This is generation that can lick him couple, that can put him on his backside. This is a different generation. This generation is back talk. This us. This a new crew. This generation is cuss you out because we're tired and we're fed up and we've had enough of seeing the PLP and the FNM and their crookedness, and they themselves verify that they are corrupt. Every election, one will say that the other one is corrupt. The other one will say the other one is corrupt, and y'all don't get it. All they doing is confirming to us that the two of them are no good. $100 million. And it ain't just Brave. The whole PLP benefited. That's where that money was coming from. That's that money where they say, oh, Brave, nice. Because he was using that to buy favor. Nice my foot. Even a drug dealer goes in the community and they nice. They give out certain things while they kill in the community. So while he's pretending to be nice and giving out whitefish money, he was making us suffer and killing us. We look forward to a new Bahamas. That's what we are about. That's what we're interested in. A new Bahamas, where all of us will benefit with products that the world need. It will make us a G20 country. A G20 country in 10 years. We will be a G8 nation in 15 years. Come with me. A new vision for this country. Don't listen to them and their old weapons. We are taking you to a brand new place. And that's what I could do. I could read some of your comments and I could open the phone line just for probably 10, 15 minutes. Because, I like when y'all able to get it and have y'all say, what do you think about what you just heard? Any other things that you want to mention? Any other cases you want to mention about the MPs? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say, you can say it. So I'm going to open the phone lines for a sec. I know it's getting late, but thank you all for hanging out with me. You've been here long. All right? So y'all tell those trolls when they come talking about us at the New Bahamas, the COI, all of them was named by the Whitefish brothers. All right? All of them benefited from corruption. Deals were being made. Our crown land was being offered to these people to settle. The dude, that's what it looked like to me. I just saying based on what I see. The dude take the Whitefish brothers' money and then try to give him 6,000 acres of crown land to make up for it. What kind of thing this is? Do y'all see that? What Whitefish was a legend? He was a legend that this man was spending up his money and then try to offer him crown land. Wow. The phone line's open, 803-5995. If you want to get something in quick, then you could call if you want to get something in. This how serious these people are now, and while they fighting Bahamians over crown land. I'm going to go to the phone lines. Let me go straight to the phone lines. Good night. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, I'm good, Mr. President.
Awesome, man. You see how they was trying to give away our crown land to pay for their crimes?
I mean, they've been doing this forever.
Wow.
They have been doing this forever, and it is a shame and a disgrace. An absolutely disgrace. My brother, people are saying, they still attacking the Prime Minister. My brother, let me tell you something. The Prime Minister today, Brave Davis, which is useless, they have been attacking us over 37 years.
Wow.
He's been involved in this for over 37 years himself. It isn't like this is something new to him.
Yes.
Listen, every election, they come around to your house. They have the nerve to go to people's house, and the people have push-up windows, no electricity. They still use it outside toilets. They still push up.
Wow.
but early in the morning they go to the city pump. They still give their kids $1 for lunch, $1 for breakfast. Our kids are walking the streets in the morning, going to school buying $1 breakfast from someone back from. You mean to tell me we have 25 primary schools in Nassau, 8 senior high schools, 8 junior high schools? I believe that's the number. The number could be different. But you mean to tell me for over 50 years, the PLP and the FNM run this country, and none of our government schools here in Nassau, I'm not even talking about the Family Islands, none of them have a cafeteria to feed our kids free breakfast and free lunch, hotel buffet style?
Wow.
It's a shame and a disgrace, and they really love us.
Wow.
But they don't feed our kids. They don't make sure that the investors who can adopt our schools don't feed our kids. Because they want to slide their greasy hands underneath the table. And they say, the hell with us. And they take our votes, and they travel the world. They go to these posh hotels with their friends, families, and lovers, and whatever else. It's a shame and disgrace. I see why I left the PLP. I can't stand them. Mr. President, make it big.
Yes.
Continue to do the work. We are behind you. The Bahamian people have woken up. This is a new generation.
Thank you.
Come.
Change is here. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. The phone line is open, 803-5995, 803-5995. Someone say drinking red wine. I don't drink alcohol. This is Coke Zero. All right, someone trying to call. Let me get the phone lines. Good afternoon. Welcome. You're live.
What you were saying about, I mean, I know these fellas was dirty, but they past dirty, they dirty to me. But now I see where it makes sense, where a lot of these, that's why I keep on saying, why a lot of these revs, these big name brand revs, ain't speaking out.
That is
Christian
why.
Council ain't speaking out with how they treat the Bahamians and military force and, wrongful arrest, abduction, and, police keep on coming harassing me, and none of these big-time revs even saying nothing now, I understand.
They grab the big-time refs, they give them crown land, and when these fellas come, they're trying to do tax evasion. When they come and open their companies here, they let the refs be directors, and they get their 65, 100 grand salary just for being a director. They don't have nothing to do. Just to be a director on that, because they have them as directors because they have a reputation, and they know the rev mightn't thief. And so they use that to silence these revs.
But the church don't pay tax either, so if they have the church tie up in it, that means taxation, right?
Yeah, but they normally don't tie up the church in the foreign company business, but they just put the rev as a director.
My goodness, boy, we've been getting bamboozled for too long.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here riding COI. I've been riding. I vote COI next last election. I will vote COI again.
Thank you, man. You're a smart man.
All of my boys then vote to COI. All of my group.
Yeah.
To get rid of this same old double-head coin. No matter you toss it up and keep landing the same. That's why we suffering right now, and they living good high off the hog with PLP, FNM. I on there, right? Anyway, Thanks for the information, boy. You sure open up my eyes a lot.
Thank you, man. All right. Phone line is open, 803-5995. Yeah, man, I know it took long. I had to weave it together. But listen, that is not even the tip of the iceberg. We waiting on their response. And then we could drop the hammer. So as bad as that sound, that ain't even the tip of the iceberg. All right? And so there's a lot going on in this country, and they're busy trying to attack anyone who would stand up and not be a part of their system. They're trying to find any way they can destroy me or Maria right now. Anything they could arrest us for, any civil things they could go at us with to try to embarrass us. They're trying everything right now. There were death threats. They're trying everything. But guess what? We're going to stand up and take the bullets, and we're going to deal with them at whatever level they come on. All right? So we get the phone lines. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon. Could you explain to me the situation with Derek Rowe?
Okay. I can't really explain fully in just a couple of minutes the situation with Derek Rowe. It's a very complicated situation. And I can tell you that once we get into government, we are going to have that investigated. The FBI has already looked into that and legitimized it. And we're going to have them assist us with it. Their I think you know the story that there was a wealthy person, the Kellys, in Lyford Key that left money for Derek Roll. They wanted him to give a certain portion of it to Bahamians. And of course, the money started disappearing. What caused me to start investigating it, and I have a lot of papers and information on it, although you don't hear me saying that, is because we could be ready. All right. What caused me to have interest in it was when the FNM finally spoke out about it. When Peter Turnquist stood up and basically tried to say that it was not true, et cetera, et cetera. And when he stood up and said, boy, he wished he was a lawyer to, he would have taken on that case easily. Any lawyer would take on that case. And then sitting next to him was Jeff Lloyd, who said, yeah, I would have taken on that case. And then come to find out, Jeff Lloyd was the lawyer on the probate for that case. So when I saw that, that made it obvious to me. And I want to encourage Bahamians to never believe what these politicians are saying. That caused me to say, hold on, this case is real. Let me go and do my research. And just like I always do my investigation, I've been all over this, and I'm just waiting. All right? Waiting. But the Bahamian people will benefit from that money. That's all I have to say about that. And his family will receive justice. As simple as that. So I've never spoken about it. You don't hear me speaking about that publicly, but I've been doing investigations on it, and I know exactly what is going on.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Keep the good work going.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. All right. Someone's trying to call in. You can call again now. 803-5995, 803-5995. Thank you all of you all for staying up so late with us tonight. Let me answer the phone lines. There we go. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, Lincoln, I noticed like Brave Davis on the news talking about carbon credits. I mean, nobody ever spoke about carbon credits being a possibility until you spoke about it, but now all of a sudden, that one of his key points spoken about on the news.
Yeah, they know that they can only hide the truth for so long, and they know that every time we talk, we bring out documents and facts, and so people are getting more and more curious. They also don't have any ideas, so they need some things that they could try to say that they're going to do. They are going to bring carbon credits. I have spoken to Brave Davis before election about this, but he is saying that they're not going to let Bahamians benefit from it. So that is the difference, and that is we may have to hit the streets. And I'm telling Bahamians that when they try to bring this stuff, we're going to have to hit the House of Parliament to let them know that we want to benefit. We may have to get rowdy, but they are now saying that this thing is worth $33 trillion. I played the video. You've heard them saying it. The government is saying that. The Minister of Works, Brave Davis, $33 trillion. So y'all are going to just sit there and let them go into this with corruption. They want to partner with some foreign companies so that they benefit and get 50% of this or 51% of this, of what is ours. And they get free money for nothing. They don't have to sign up with that company because this is something we can do on our own or have another company do it. This is not the norm in the industry where a company just gets 51% of what is ours for trading it. We have to stand up and fight. And if we do, we can force the government hands, and every single Bahamian can become a millionaire from the carbon credits alone. There was an article I was supposed to show you all in the Tribune, where they are saying that we can make $181 million from the damaged mangroves alone. The damaged mangroves just in not Andros and the rest of there, just in Abaco and Grand Bahama, just in the east side of Grand Bahama and Abaco, just from the damaged mangroves, we could get $181 million, a minimum of $151 million from the damaged mangroves. And they're taking advantage of the fact that people don't know what's going on. So if you could get that from the damaged mangroves, what can you get from the actual mangroves, which is billions, and what can you get from the seagrass and the coral reefs, et cetera, in our waters?
Question: is it possible for us to establish companies individually as Bahamians, like groups, where we could probably isolate certain portions of the mangroves, lease it, or probably purchase it, and then start up our own company?
Listen, the government is going to block us from doing that because they want to benefit and they don't want Bahamians to benefit. The only thing we can do right now is get them out of power. remove them.
Right.
And put people in there who are going to put things in place to benefit the Bahamian people. That's the only thing that we can do right now. There's no way that they're going to do anything that's going to benefit us. And Brave Davis told me he's not going to let that happen, and you are seeing it. So he said he will go into the carbon credits. I taught him about carbon credits. I broke it down to him. All right? And he said, yeah, they're going to do it, but we won't benefit. So I'm going to draft a bill for our sovereign wealth fund. I'm working on that already. I'm going to pass it to the opposition and give them, and Vaughn Miller, and give them the opportunity to table that in the House so that we benefit from whatever goes in there. Right? I'm going to table an amendment to the carbon credits bill and give them a chance to table that in the House. And I just want everyone to know, Vaughn Miller, in front of all of you, promised he was going to call me before Monday. He's not called me yet. He has not picked up the phone. He was just trying to get us out of his face. Vaughn Miller is a sellout, a political prostitute, and all that talks he had, he's not standing up for the Bahamian people. So thank you all. I'm going to have to end there. I don't want this to be too long because people are going to want to come and watch this. I don't want to be too long for them. But ladies and gentlemen, we might have did, but see, go into the House of Assembly because, you know, of citizenship, legal stuff, we're going to do that. But this right here, this secures us and our future generations. We're going to put it in writing, and we won't let Brave Davis rape us and rob us of our birthright and what is ours. Y'all got to stand with us on this. If you know how this could change not only you, your life, and your family's life, and your children's life, but change this entire nation, you would stand up. This is free, new money, not controlled by the oligarchs. Millions of dollars. When I calculate $33 trillion by 200,000 people, we get $165 million for every Bahamian. Of course, it won't really be that because it isn't all of that. But even if it's 50 million, 20 million, 10 million, 1 million, 100,000, that's better than what you're getting now. This could change all of our lives, and I'm giving you their numbers. Break it down from their numbers. We got to stand up and take this country. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to go out on the 28th. We're not letting them dictate to us. We're going to wait for them to announce the bill, and then we're going to go. We're going to draft the Sovereign Wealth Fund bill, edit to it, and edit to the carbon credits bill, and give it to the opposition. And once it's going to be tabled, we're going to hit the streets. We're all going to go out there. It could change our lives. We're going to see if the opposition is serious. We're going to see if the rest of them are serious. We're going to give them a chance. All right? That's our house. And if we send a bill to them for them to table, then they should do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank all of you for tuning in. We're going to wait the response of the trolls and then get ready to bring out the big guns. All right? If you want to be a part of our militia, just text me because some of you got lost in the text. Just text to me, Save Our Nation. Just text that, Save Our Nation. So that when I search, I'm going to search Save Our Nation. And I'm going to search Nation. And I'm going to pull you up. And we're going to meet. All right? We need some strong persons, men and women, who are ready to stand up. Some strong things are going to have to happen. All right? So if you sent in the message before, send it again because a lot of the messages got lost. Someone says, thank you for the information. Thank you. Thank you. Now, please share. You can share it on YouTube or Facebook. If your family don't have Facebook, share the YouTube link. Okay? All of the information is going to be there. So please, make sure you get the message out. Every message. What gives you the strength is the fact that they see that we are united, that we are coming together, and we ain't taking no more mess. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I am There's so much I wanted to show you tonight, but I'm going to end this couple of clips. Please enjoy these couple of clips, and we'll see you on Sunday. Change is here.
Mommy, tell the people how the man walked this road all last year. Treat you like a queen, better than the one with dad. That's how good he treat my mother. When the man went, my mother gone by the office. I went with her by the office, made an appointment with her to see the man, to state her concerns. Now he taking so long, we wanted an update. I made appointments. I reach out to him on WhatsApp. I reach out to him even on the job. Never see the man no more. The day make a year. He never came to this house to see my mother. Please, if anybody know him, tell him don't come to this place. See there, Mount Moriah. I gone up at the office today. You can ask me what I want to do for my mother. You figured out the same thing what you do for her, what she did for you. She want you to do for her. That's what she want you to do for her. Okay? My mother, 65-year-old senior citizen. You want to walk on the park for Mother's Day to talk, but she getting a plate of food. Why didn't you bring it to her? Why didn't you bring that food to her? Mister, don't you come to my...
You ain't joking. We trying to record from inside the car. You want to open door.
I tell you what, you could see. All right, boy. Still looking to see.
No photo. Just the tray open the eye. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, video, yeah. Much boy come to stop before I give it out. Is he looking at this far?
Try to bring his big fucking head reading my way. I can't get no good picture.
Have you seen this book before? This book was published several years ago and widely distributed. The persons responsible for this book is shown right here. Yes, Fraudulent Rights Bahamas Group, who decided to portray the Bahamas Immigration Department, the Defense Force, and the police as criminals. This group right here, you will see some familiar faces. Those are the persons who portray the Bahamas Immigration, the Defense Force, as this. People see this anywhere else in the world, they will not know that this is not a scene in the Bahamas, because the caption does not say that. This is what the caption says. They would not know that this is not in the Bahamas. See, they've been so far as to include The Barefoot Bandit in this book, talking about immigration, which is a criminal matter, not an immigration matter. This is all portrayed as being Bahamian police. This here doesn't look like Bahamian police to me. But it doesn't say that in the caption. Anybody reading this anywhere else in the world would not understand that this is not a Bahamian police. This is treasonous. It's treasonous of all those persons in that White Bahamas group to produce this book. There are immigration officers trying to help a baby that was left in the street by immigrants who ran away. But now they are saying something different in the caption, trying to make it look as if their officers are mistreating a child. This is treasonous, this is slanderous, this is not the way to gain any popularity or any ground in a country. The scripture says it's illegal for immigration to shoot you. It is illegal, but are these Bahamian immigration officers? Is this in the Bahamas? I doubt it. That cannot be in the Bahamas.
Do I have political aspirations?
You are run for House Assembly or you want to be appointed to the Senate?
I love politics.
That's not the question, man. Stop being smart. Do you intend to offer yourself if the opportunity arises?
Should an opportunity arises that I feel makes sense, and an opportunity did come about, things in proper perspective here, I was offered an opportunity to run.
And you declined?
Position, and I feel as if it would put me in a better position. We have expanded so much so that we've stopped using the ATRs, and now the 130-seat Bahamas Air jet flies into Cape Haitian, goes in full, comes out full.
Regularly.
So now at the ticket prices of around $500 to $600. So
to get to Haiti?
Yeah. So you do the math. Every week on a Tuesday and every week on a Saturday, twice per week. Do the math yourself. $500 times 130 twice a week. Haitians ain't contributing.
I mean, the woman get bigger for any old Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yes.
And the child becomes a citizen.
Yeah.
All right, Bahamas, you see here? You see here? Watch this now. There's a truckload of wood going to the coal kiln. Niggas them blocking my road. How I supposed to fucking get past and go where I need to go? Huh? You want me drive in the bush? You think you need right, man? You want me to drive in the bush?
Oh, you want pass it?
Yeah, this is my road.
No,
this is my road. You got my road blocked up.
No, I thought you looking for you want to talk to me.
No, I want to talk to you.
Oh, sorry then.
Yeah. So where you going with that?
No, I go pick up something in there. After that, I go buy one miller.
All right. No, I need to get in the back there. I need to go feed my hog.
Oh, okay.
I have a farm in the back there. This is my road. I cut this road.
Oh, that's your road. Oh,
yeah.
right.
say he can't hand that to Ron Miller. Huh? Do you believe that? Can't hand that to Ron Miller. See what's going on, Bahamas? Huh? Y'all see what's going on?
Zak Pase! Zak Pase! Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all, no, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. In on now.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history. Who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries. Great visionaries. And their vision was more about the people than the money. Because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first. Because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care. Look at your road system. Look at your highway system. Look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.
And it's Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming. Change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go, shalom to all my Hebrew brothers. To all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. Selassie, I know, I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing this for years, trying to separate us. Kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet. So the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck. Yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. When 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. Sonus Lincoln Bain and his team came with information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They'd rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. No, the change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nago, there's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.